And guys, make sure that you hit afterward, if my recording thing will move, you hit render animation and your animation will render. And if you're too lazy to do all of this stuff, just go ahead and check me out on Selfie. I'll leave a link down in the description. It'll be the first thing that shows up. And you can buy one from me for only $6. Only $6, and I'll make you a sweet intro, not like this, but I'll show you some examples at the end, and I'll make you a pretty sweet intro for only $6. And if you want a custom-made intro where you choose how you want it, what you want to happen, what it looks like, it's only $4 more. So check me out on Selfie, and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, it's JustCauseDZN here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a Blender intro from scratch. So let's get started. So first, of course, you're going to want to open up Blender. If you don't have it, I'll leave the link down in the description for where you can download it. Now, you'll open up to this scene, right? Okay guys, so you're going to open up to this scene, right? And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press A on your keyboard and delete all of those. Now, what you're going to want to do next is over here, you're going to want to set this value to 100. This value to 100. Set this to 60 FPS or 30, depending on what you want. You're going to want to go down to shading, set this to transparent, and you're going to want to save where you want you're going to want to choose where you want the final product to be saved. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to set this to H.264 and set this down here to H.264 and this to MP3. And you'll be done here. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit number 1 on your numpad, and if you don't have a numpad, you can just go to View and numpad 1, and you'll be there. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do Shift A and go down to where it has a camera and select the camera. Now you're going to want to zoom in a bit and press Control Alt and hit 0 on your numpad. And then you're going to want to go to here, make sure these values are set to 0, and make sure this one is set to -7. And that'll put your camera right there. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do Shift A again. Go to Empty and select a empty circle or a cube or anything. Now what you're going to do is you can scale this up a little bit so you can see it. Now you're going to want to right click on your camera. You're going to want to right click on your camera and then Shift right click on your empty. Now you're going to want to press Control P and click Object. Now this is parented so you can scale and move the circle, and it'll move the camera with it. That's good, and you'll see why later in the tutorial. So, the next thing you're going to want to do is we're going to want to create some text. So you're going to want to go to Shift A, click Text, and press RX90 or RX90 if it'll work for me. There we go. Now you're going to want to press Tab and put your name in there. Then you're going to go over to here and set geometry to origin. So it'll put your text right there. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over this fonts tab, and you're going to want to go to the geometry section. You're going to want to put the extrude to 0.15 or depending on what you want, and then you're going to want to go to this fonts, regular or whatever, and select the font that you want. So the way to get fonts is you just look up like cool fonts, and you can download it and put it in a folder and you can use it. So I'm just gonna use this one. Nope, not that one. We're gonna use Prime Time. Yep, that's what I'm gonna use. Now what you're gonna do after you have your font selected and you're extruded, you're gonna want to press Shift D, which will duplicate it, and then right click. Now you're gonna want to hit Go to this extrude and make it smaller than the last, and you can see the yellow lines here. You're going to want to make it a little bit smaller than your last text. There you go. Now you're going to want to go to here to where the offset is, and you're going to want to make that just a little bit bigger, and now you'll have some beveled text. And also on both of these texts, you're going to want to set the resolution to 32. There we go. So now we have some basic text. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select both of those by clicking on one and shift selecting the other. Press Shift A and select an empty plane axis. Now you're going to want to select both and then right shift, select your plane axis, Control P, object. Now you've parented your text, so you move your text around with this axis. Now there you go. Now you have your basic thing, and now we want to set up our Lightroom so that it won't just look like this. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go Shift A, Mesh, UV Sphere, press S, and then type in 50. And that'll make our cube just super huge, and it looks really cool. Like look at that, it's amazing. So yeah, next what you're gonna want to do is, if you have your spheres selected, you're gonna want to go to your Material tab and press New. Now you're gonna go down to Shading and set the Emit to 20, and then go down to here, check Transparency, Mask, and bring the alpha down to 0. Next thing you're gonna want to do is go to your Texture tab, press New. Go to here, press Marble, bring the size up to 2, the turbulence down to 0, well, down to the lowest, and the nabla down to the lowest. And that's my Lightroom. That's what I use, but you can mess around with all these settings to get what you want. Now you're going to want to go to Mapping, set this to Generated, and set this to Sphere. You're going to want to uncheck Color and check Emit. And now, as you can see, it looks the same, but we're gonna set up some materials on our text to make it look awesome. So to hide the Lightroom without it having an effect on what our area looks like, you're going to want to go to here and hit Transparency, and then you're going to want to click this. This basically hides it from the viewport, but when you render it, it still lights up it lights up the scene. So now you're going to want to select this and name this Lights, and then you're going to want to name your empty this one, the one that controls your text controls, and then you're going to want to name the empty that controls your camera controls. Okay, now that you have everything, you're going to want to select the first bit of your text, and you're going to want to go to your Material tab, select New, make this a darkish kind of gray, like that. Go down to Mirror, check it, set this to 0.7, and then make this just kind of a darker kind of gray color. Now if we go into our rendered view, as you can see, it's got kind of like that silverish kind of look to it. Actually, I think I'm going to make that just a little bit darker. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your Texture tab, and basically you're going to select New. You're going to open up a texture that you have. So what you can do is you just look one up. You can just look up metal texture or whatever texture you want, tileable or seamless, and then just drag one of these to your desktop. Now we can open up one that I already have. Let's go to my textures and let's select this one. Here's the texture that I'm using. I'm pretty sure it's actually here somewhere. Yeah, it's right there. Or somewhere in here, yeah. So there's that. And now if we render this out, nothing's here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Mapping, set this to Generated, set this to Cube, set this to Normal, and set this to 0.007. Now we've got some textures on our text. Now you can lower this to your liking. I'm going to set it to 0.005, and that looks pretty cool. So there's our text. Now you're going to want to go to the second layer of text and basically do the same thing. New, I'm going to make this a dark blue. I'm going to make this a dark blue. Mirror, 0.7. Make this a darker blue. Now I'm going to go to my Texture tab. You don't have to do this again. You can go to here, select the Texture 001, and then go here, Generated, Cube, and Normalize, and set this to 0.005. And there you go. Now you got some pretty nice looking text. So if I go into my rendered view, as you can see, there's textures on both of our text. It's kind of hard to see on the blue, but you can kind of see it. So yeah, now we got some pretty nice looking text. Okay. Now that you have everything set up and you have everything looking pretty nice, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select this little rugged thing up here, click it, and drag down. Now, you're going to want to go to here and set this to Video Sequence Editor. You're going to want to press Add and Sound. This is where you select your music. So I'm just going to go to where my music is saved. Now, I have a bunch of intro song cuts, right? Where I just cut the songs at the beat drop. But if you don't have any of those, and let's say I want, let's see. Let's do this one. So now I have my sound, right? Oh yeah, by the way, you're going to want to set these frames to at least 600 if you have a 60 FPS intro. That'll make it a 10-second intro. So now I have my intro or my sound here. You're going to want to go to here and press draw waveform. So we have this. But we don't want the beginning. We want the beat drop. So let's try and find our beat drop. I'm pretty sure it's right here. Now, for me, I'm going to want my beat drop at around 100 frames, probably. No. Probably around 90 frames is where I want my beat drop to be. So I'm going to drag my beat drop to 90 frames. I want it to be 120. There we go. Let's drag our beat drop to 120. Now we have this. Now, let's say I wanted to sync this to the part where he's singing. So what I'm gonna do, well actually, so yeah, I want to sync it to that. So here, if we press M, as you can see, we'll set a marker everywhere. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to go to your beat drop, and of course you're gonna want to set, well, it's at 120 because that's where we set it. So you're gonna want to go to 120, and you're gonna want to press M. So now we have a marker there, and I'll show you what we need these for later. So now, every time it goes the buzza buzza buzz, yeah, that part, we're gonna set a marker, and you can just press M. So here we go. Now watch. So now I messed up a little bit, so I'm just gonna redo this. So here we go. Let's try it again. Now that I have this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to 0 frames and set the volume down to 0 and hit I. Now I'm gonna go to my beat drop, which is at 120, and I'm gonna select this and press 1 and hit I. So now we have this. And now at 656, or actually, I can delete those ones. I can delete all of these, but at around right here, I'm gonna want to set the volume to 1 and hit I. And now at the end, I'm gonna want to set the volume down to 0 and hit I. So now this is what our music sounds like. Okay, so now that we have these markers, we can start moving our text around. So we have these markers down here, and every time it goes buzza buzza, I set it to where the marker will go up. So here's what we're going to need for this part. What we're going to need is we're going to want to make our camera move, or our sync, first. So basically, I'm going to leave the link for this down in the description, but I have a shake modifier, which basically adds shake to our intro. So I'll leave the link down in the description, and there's a tutorial, and you can just look up a tutorial how to install. Well, actually, let me just show you. So you're going to want to go to File, User Preferences, Add-ons, Install from File, and then you can just find wherever you have it saved. Let's say it's right here. Click on it, press Install from File, and then it'll appear right here. So it'll have the shake. You'll see this, and it'll be unchecked. You're going to want to check it and press Save User Settings, and now you'll have your shake modifier. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set our camera. to be at 120. We want it to be, let's say, right here. And let's scale it in a little bit. Now we're going to want to go down to here and set this to location, rotation, scale, and press I. Now at frames 1, we're going to want our text to be scaled out and rotated like this. Now it looks like this. Oops, I forgot to press I. See? That's why usually you can press this and set auto keyframes, so I can go to here and I don't have to worry about it. I just go here and go like this, and then I can scale it in a little bit, and now it looks like this. So now we have that. But what I want is I want it to here just kind of snap into that. So I want it to go slow, slow, snap like that. So I'm gonna bring this down again, and I am just going to go to my dope sheet. Now this is where all your keyframes are set. So I'm gonna set a keyframe at frame 60. So about in the middle. Now I'm going to drag this up to frame 110. So now we have this. Yep. Actually, I think I messed up my music. Hold on. Is a little bit ahead, so yeah, so it's a little bit ahead, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, and I'm just gonna go a couple keyframes ahead and press M. So I think it may be at 130. Yeah, it's at 130. So I'm going to press delete, and I'm going to go to frame 130 and hit M. Now, I'm going to go back to my dope sheet, and all I'm going to do is move these keyframes up. So here we go. So now we have this. So now our camera kind of snaps right at the beat drop to the text. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go to our first little beat. We're going to go to the frame before it, 78, and we're going to go to our, we're going to select our camera and go to the little box. So it's at -7, so you're going to want to right click and press insert single keyframe. Now you're going to want to go forward 1, and I usually set this to about -4.7. There you go, and it's already set because I have auto keyframe on. If you didn't, you would just hit I again. So now we kind of have this. It kind of goes in, so it goes like that. So yeah, let me hit I here also. Okay, so it goes like this. So it goes like that. And what we're gonna want to do is we're going to want to go to our dope sheet. We're going to want to select those two keyframes. So select that one, shift select that one, and press Control C. Now, every time we hear a beat, we're going to press Control V. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. Now we have this. And that's what we have. Now, I know this looks a little bit weird, so now we're going to set this. So our vocal length, we're going to leave that the same. So we're going to set this to 35 over here in our shake. So basically, this is in our shake modifier. It should show up here. So we're going to set this to 35. Shake strength is going to be at 0.20. Now we're going to press all the way back at frame 0. Add shake. Now, you might be a little surprised. Just press play animation. But this is what you'll have. Now, don't be shocked. All you have to do is, it's a glitch. So all you have to do is go to here and make sure you have the cube with the shake selected. Go to delta transform, and on delta rotation up here, type in 90. And that's all you have to do. So now you have this. So that's all we have now. So that's pretty cool. And it's synced. So now what we're going to want to, and you can mess around with this. You can set this to 0.15, let's say. So yeah, you can mess around with this. So I'm going to leave it at what I have. Those are my shake settings. So now what we have is we're going to want to figure out when we want to move our camera again. So probably right at where it goes. So right about here. So let's hit M, or not M. So let's, right here, we're going to have our camera, let's say rotate right to here. Or no, let's say it does a little spin and goes to here. There we go. So now we have this. But I kind of want it to snap to there. So what I'm going to do once again is I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go to the frame right before this frame. So right here, press I, and I'm going to select that keyframe and drag it all the way. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me Command Z actually. Let me deselect all the keyframes that I have. I'm going to go to the keyframe ahead and press I. So now I'm going to take that keyframe and I'm going to drag it up to about right here. So now we have this. And maybe I want that to happen a little bit slower. So let's drag it back a little bit and now we have this. But you can mess around with it and have it happen as fast as you want. Yeah, that's good for me. And now right here, I want my camera just to go to here. Or just to go to back to right, like right here. And now I'm going to select I right here. And I'm just going to drag it up. Let me deselect those and drag this up to about right here. So now and now we have this. But what I want to do is right when it hits here, right here, I have the I, and at right here, I kind of want it just to have a dramatic ending. So I'm going to have it scale out, or no, I'm going to have it rotate to here and scale in. So it looks like this now. Maybe we should add one more camera movement in there before we end this. Or actually, I'll make this a shorter one, so I'll end this at 500 frames. It'll probably be around 8 seconds now. But that's not 5. I'm dumb. 500. And now let's drag the keyframe from 600 up to 500. There we go. So now we have this. So yeah, there we go. There's our little animation. So that's good. And actually, now what we need to do, you guys don't have to do this, but I'm just going to fix my audio really quick, so. So now I have my audios fixed. So yeah, there's our little intro. How many seconds this is actually? It's about 8 seconds, so 8.3 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so 610 seconds. We're doing an 8-second intro. That's fine. So yeah, now we have this. So now we're finished with our animation. So now we're going to want to set up our particles and everything. So we're going to go to Scene. We're going to name this Text. Now we're going to add a new scene and press Copy Settings. We're going to name this Particles. Plus Smoke. Wait, no, just Particles. Just Particles. You're going to want to hit 1 or go to the numpad 1 view. And you're going to want to hit, now you're going to want to go to here, Shift A, UV Sphere. You're going to scale it up just a little bit. and go to the modifiers tab, which is this little wrench, and press add modifier, displace. Now you're going to go to your textures tab, select new, and just select clouds, and you should be good. Now go back to your modifiers tab, and you can mess around with these as much as you want. Let me just make something really quick. Now I'm going to show you how to make some pretty cool particles. So I'm going to press apply and apply. Now I'm going to go to my text or my material tab, press new, and press halo. So now we have this. It's kind of cool. Actually, hold on. I messed up, guys. Hold on. So let me go Shift A. Let me just do this again here. Displace, right? Displace. No, not add modifier. Displace texture. Clouds. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press new halo. Now I'm going to press copy, and then I'm just going to set these to something that looks kind of cool like that. Apply and apply. So there we go. We have some nice looking particles, right? Okay. Now I'm just going to scale these up a little. They look pretty cool. So we're going to want to go to our texture tab. We're going to want to set the size down to 0.1. And then we're going to want to set the color to whatever color your text is. So I'm going to set it to a blue. Now you're going to want to go to the camera tab, and set the shading to sky. And then you're going to want to go to your world tab, press new, and set this to black. So now if we go into rendered view, we have some particles, some pretty neat looking particles. So that's pretty cool. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to go to our text scene, grab our camera, our camera controls, and our shake, and press Control L and put the objects to scene particles. So now we have our animation inside of our particle scene, so we can render it out at different viewpoints. So that's what our particles will look like. And then let's see, right when it spins, like right here, that's what our particles will look like. So now we can see it at different times. So we have our animation inside of here. Now we're going to add a scene and link the objects just so that we have these objects here. Now, oh wait, and now we're going to select our particles and press delete. Now we're going to name this smoke. So now we're going to press, here we're going to do, let's go to our one view, and we're going to press Shift A, UV sphere. Do the same exact process. Scale it up, add modifier, displace. You're going to press tab this time, and you're going to want to subdivide it one more time. Just press the subdivide, and then hit tab again. Now you're going to want to go to here, texture, clouds, there we go. Now go to your modifiers tab, let's copy, let's just kind of mess around with it a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, go to here, new, halo, and now you're going to want to scale this up, right? And the reason that we had our smoke, right, the reason we did our, or the reason we subdivided it is so we would have more. So this is going to be some smoke. So we're going to want to set the alpha down to 0.003 and set the size up to 1. And now we should have some nice smoke. Or wait, no, let's set this to sky and make our world completely black. Perfect. Now let's go into rendered view, and we have some smoke, as you can see. Now we're going to want to set the color here. Let's just set it to a blue, just a darker blue. Okay, you can't see it, so let's just set it back to white. Oops. So we have it at white, so now if we render it, we have some smoke, as you can see. Some nice looking smoke. It's okay looking, I mean, it's okay looking smoke, but, actually, hold on, let me redo this. You guys, you don't have to redo it if you don't want. I'm just going to redo it really quick. Looks cool, dude. Okay. Now I'm just gonna redo this, press new, halo. I don't know why it's making this look so weird. There we go. Now it looks distorted. There we go. Now let's scale this up. Here we go. Okay. Oh no, that still looks pretty dang weird. Like that. That looks cool. Okay, now we can just do the regular process. Size up to 1. And now, as you can see, we have some smoke. Now let's play our animation really quick. Let's just render it from different views. Let's render it from the top view, actually. Look at that. We even have like smoke up top like that. Looks pretty cool. Now we have our smoke and we have our particles. Now, I know people are going to be asking, like, how do you add a shockwave? Well, I will make a separate tutorial on how to do that. So, yeah, I'll add a separate tutorial on how to do that. So now we're going to go into our text scene, and we have this. It looks the same, but we're going to go into our compositing right here, and we have this. Now, we're going to want to render out a frame. Let's render it out right here. Render that out. That's what that looks like. Looks pretty sick. Now, we're going to press Use Nodes, and we're going to select this and do Shift D and Shift D. Now we have some more of these. Let's drag this out, and now we're going to set this to our set this to our particles, and then set this to our set this to our particles and set this to our smoke. If I can click, set this to our smoke. What we're going to do is we're going to go Shift A, color, alpha over, and set that to there, and put this right up here. And then we're going to want to do Shift A, what is it, mix, and then color mix and color add, and then go to here and put that here. So now we have this. So let's render our scene out right here. Here's what our scene would look like here. There we go. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to color our smoke. So we're going to go Shift A, color, color balance. Now we're just going to make this a blue. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to use an RGB curve. So color RGB curves. This is just easier for beginners. So you have the colors here, red, green, the color, and then the blue. So we're going to raise the blue up to like here. Let's bring it down a little bit. And then, well, let's bring it up to like here. And then we'll bring our green up to like here. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we have our smoke and our particles. Now for our particles, what we're going to do is we're going to go Shift A, filter, glare node. We're going to set that to streaks, or no, we're going to set this to fog glow. We're going to set that to medium, bring the threshold down to 0, and then we're going to go Shift A, filter blur node. We're going to set this to fast Gaussian, relative, Y, and set these both to 20. Wait, hold on. I may have these in the wrong order. Hold on. I think I did something wrong. Hold on. Okay, guys, so my bad. You're not supposed to add this blur node. You just add this glare node and set it to fog glow, bring the threshold down to 0, and your particles should glow a little bit. So watch, just to prove this, I zoomed in on the particles. I'm going to duplicate this, and they glow a little bit more. So I added 2, and now our particles have a little bit of a glow to them. So that's nice to have. So now we're going to do some color corrections to our text. So we're going to go Shift A, color correction node, and we're going to bring our master saturation up to 1.1. We're going to bring our gain master up to 1.1. Bring our midtones gain to 1.1. And then we're going to want to grab our master shadows. Where is that? Or just our shadows contrast. We're going to bring that to 1.1. Or sorry, no, we're going to leave that here. Master gamma, sorry, 1.1. And there we go. Now we have a little bit of color correction. We're going to do one more thing. Going to bring our highlight gain to 1.1. There we go. So now that that's done, what we're going to do is what we're going to do is we are going to go to here. Guys, so the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a glare node just to make your things your text glare, and you just want to set it to fog, bring the threshold down to 0.2, and that should make your text glow a little bit. Okay, and there we go. Now we have a pretty cool looking intro with some pretty nice sync. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial, guys. I will be making quick tips on how to make a Blender intro. I'll be making quick tips. So yeah, if you want to learn, just put down in the comments what you guys want to learn, and I'll take some of that and I'll do quick tips on them. So I'll have like a shockwave quick tip, a effects quick tip, a bunch of different things. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.